again, our most valued student. My name is Confident and welcome to the second session of the Mathematics N1 at June 2022 paper. And I'm looking now at question number, we have done question 1, question 2. And again, if you are joining us for the first time, it means you have missed these questions. I will encourage you to subscribe to the channel as well as ensure your notification bell is turned on. I repeat again, go and subscribe so that you can be able to be notified every time I post such videos. So if this is then you've been going through this video, you know that I did this question 1, 2 and 3. It was mainly focusing on the algebra part. Question 4 similarly focuses on algebra but in equations and other aspects. So let's look at question 4. And we're going to do 4 and 5 in this section because it's going to be a short session. Let's look at question 4. 4.1 says you need to solve for x. I've already done this one, but I'm going to do it again. So what we have here is minus 4 x minus 1 is equal to negative 5. Let me just erase this. It's negative 5 2x minus 1 and is minus 19. If I take it out, it's going to be more clearer. Look at this. I'm going to take this out in here. I think you can see that it's more clearer now. Okay, this is what I'm having now. Always think like this. Whenever you're given an equation, you have your left hand side and you have your right hand side. Alright, so the aim then is to take some of the stuff on the left hand side and take some of the stuff on the right hand side. Usually the x is on the left hand side. But before you do that, what do you do with this bracket? This bracket is telling you minus 4 is affecting x and minus 4 is affecting minus 1. So you are multiplying. Say minus 4 times x, that's when you're creating minus 4x. See that? And then minus 4 times minus 1. Your calculator can always come handy. You're just saying negative 4 times negative 1. It will give you a positive 4. So you write that sign positive 4. You have done now the left hand side equal to. You repeat again the right hand side. Minus 5 is affecting that 2x and minus 5 is affecting that. So when you're using a calculator, you are going to say minus 5 times 2. See that? Then it will give you the answer. And then you're saying minus 5 times minus 1. So you're saying minus 5 times 2, it will give you negative 10. Then minus 5 times minus 1, like the other one gave you a positive. So I've got minus 10 here, but you maintain the variable 10x plus 5. Then you can see minus 19 is on the outside, so you just say minus 19. When you have done this, always remember you have the left hand side, you have the right hand side, but it comes to collecting like terms, meaning focus on things that are the same. Look at this, we have got x, we have got x. So it is better for 10 to come and join that and jump this equal sign. When you jump the equal sign, you are changing signs also. Negatives become positives, positives become negative. So you can see that negative 10 will jump to become a positive 10. So what am I saying? You will have minus 4x here. So minus 10 will become plus 10x. You see that? That's the part. This negative sign, it is going to change this sign. When it jumps, it becomes that positive. Okay? That's what it does. It becomes a positive. What about, that is all that we have to do because we're focusing on x. Then you say equal to, so that's where we are, equal to. We have already have a positive 5x, a positive 5 and a negative 19. The numbers are already done on this side. But we have a 4 here, see? We have got a plus 4x. Now look at this. Since it's a plus 4, this plus sign, when it jumps to this side, it becomes a negative because it jumped an equal sign. So what you're going to have now a negative 4 because it was positive. It jumps the equal sign. When it jumps the equal sign, it becomes From positive, it becomes negative. That's what you're having. How to use your calculator now next? You just say minus 4 plus 10. It will give you the answer. And then from there, you are also going to say plus 5 minus 19 minus 4. So the calculator, guys, is always handy in this case. So let's do it. Say minus 4 plus 10. It gives me the answer. And then on the other side, give me a 6. I'll say 5 or plus 5 minus 19 minus 4. Sorry, I must remove that. So plus 5 minus 19, it gives me minus 18. So I've got what? 6 here. It gave me a positive 6. So 6, but you maintain your x, is equal to negative 18. Now, let me just do this and give it a space intentional like this. It's 6x. What is the sign in between 6 and x? It's a dot, meaning it's a multiplication. But now I need to remove, remember the aim says solve for x. How do I remove that 6? Opposite of multiplication is division. So you divide by the same 6 so that it can cancel out. Then you will be left with only x. But what you do on the left, you also do on the right. Take a calculator, say minus 18 divided by 6. It will give you a negative 3. So there is the answer. The answer is x is equal to minus 3. But now, just like I always emphasize, don't get satisfied with equations like that. Where there is x, remember we got minus 3. Where there is that x, you put minus 3. But since there is that 2, you say minus 3 like that. Use the calculator. Check whether it balances. So what you do, you start with the left hand side. You say negative 4 bracket. Where there was x is negative 3 minus 1. Close the bracket, equal to 16. So you see we have got 16 on the other side. Let's come to this side again, which is the right hand side, and see if we put where there is x, we are putting, or we input the value of what? Of negative 3, if it is going to balance. So we are saying negative 5 bracket. Now see how I do it is 2. Open another bracket to protect that minus 3. You close it. And then you say minus 1, then close it. Then you say minus 19. Just look at this. Where there was that x, that's why I put that in brackets. Equal to, I'm getting a 16 also. So even this side is giving me a 16. So left hand side is balancing with the right hand side. It means my answer for x is equal to minus 3 is correct. How many marks do I get? 6 marks. Come on guys, you should have gotten that one right. Alright, let's move on to the other question. 4.2 says manipulate the given formula and make R the subject here. So what are we given? We're making R. So we are given V is equal to pi R squared H. This is the formula for finding the volume of a cylinder, if you know it, but you don't need to know that. They say we need to make R the subject. So what you do is, you do this, take let's take this closer. So this is what you do, not complicated, it's 2 marks I think this. You just want to make R. Look, pi is multiplying, R squared times H. I said the opposite of multiplication, so let's remove this not to confuse things, is division. So you just divide by pi times divide by H, or you just say divide by pi H like this. You don't have to write anything. Cancel out, cancel out. You see, you are left with R squared, but what you do on the left, you do on the right. Pi H. So you've got V over pi H is equal to what was left is R squared. How do you get rid of the square? You square root both sides. That's how you get rid of that square. So you are going to then say V over pi H is equal to R. That's the answer. Done. Or you're going to say R is equal to V over pi H under a square root sign. That is the R there. Then they say 4.3, use the answer in question 4.2 and substitute the following values to calculate the radius. H is 9, V is 33. So you come here, they are saying where there is V, you cancel V, put what? 33. That's what they're saying. Where there is H, you put what? You put 9. So you can then find R, and what you do is say square root. Actually, before you do that, you're going to write it like this. You're going to say R, that is 4.3 to get your marks. You're going to say R is equal to square root of 33 over, it's better to call it 9 pi. Therefore, R is equal to, then you do your calculator there and say square root of 33 over 9. I think you say shift pi equal to, there is the answer 1,0803. They say leave your answer to how many decimal places? 3 decimal places, unless stated otherwise. So they didn't state it, we're going to leave it to 3. So it's 1,080. Your calculator can do that for you. Say shift setup, the rounding off, say 6, fixed to 3 decimal places, 1,080. So it's 1,080. That's the radius. That's the answer. Not complicated. Question 4.4. A motorbike covers 120 kilometers in 1 hour and 15 minutes. Calculate the time in hours and minutes it takes to cover 250 kilometers if the average speed remains unchanged. 5 marks. It's a good question. Now I think I can work it maybe here down. What I say, a motorbike covers 120 kilometers. Let's still do it on the side. Let's still do it here. A motorbike covers what? 120 kilometers in 1 hour 15 minutes. So from here, it's distance and time. So what can we calculate? We can calculate actually speed. Remember the formula. What does it say? It says speed is equal to what? Distance over time. That's an important formula there, because they're talking about speed and time. I mean distance and time. Then calculate the time in hours and minutes it takes to cover 250 kilometers if the average speed. You see, they're talking about speed there. So let's first do a few things here. 1 hour 15 minutes, you see you've got 2 units, the minutes and the hours you need to convert. So what are you going to convert? You're going to say 1 hour 15 minutes. Let's convert it to hours, meaning we need to convert. Remember, speed, sometimes you measure it as kilometers per hour. So let's convert everything in hours. Now 15 minutes is 1 hour. 1 hour 15 minutes. First, actually, let me convert this 15 minutes. What is 15 minutes? Which is equal to 15 over 60. I'm converting that what? To hours. 15 divided by 60, or 15 over 60, is equal to, press SD, 0.25. This is 0.25 hours. Do you see what I'm doing? Then, which means 1 hour 15 minutes is equal to 1 plus 0.25, which is equal to 1.25 hours. Are you seeing that now? Since I know it's 1.25 hours, I can then continue now and say, what is the speed then? It will be speed is equal to, they told me the distance. A motorbike covers 120 kilometers is my distance from the formula, which is 120 over time is 1.25. They need to give me the speed of this car, which will be speed. And then when I do that, it will be 120 over 1.25. It's 96. So it's 96. Remember, it's kilometers. We converted to what? Per hour. That's what I wanted there. One important part. Then there is the second section. Calculate the time in hours and minutes if it takes to cover. Look at this now. 250 kilometers if the average speed remains unchanged. So that speed doesn't change, but now they're telling us there's a new concept. You want to cover 250 kilometers. This is your distance, your D. So you maintain the formula, say distance. Okay, the best thing to do is to do this. Come up with your triangle like this. Remember, you must know this triangle says speed is distance over time. You maintain that. So now they have given us distance, which is D. They have given us S, which is speed. They said it remains unchanged, which is 96 kilometers per hour. They said it doesn't change if the speed remains unchanged. Now calculate the time. So what do they want? They want T. Look at this. There is the T. What is T? Time is equal to distance over, there is the over, speed. See how you're supposed to do that, which is equal to distance is 250, speed is 96. Then you're going to get the time. But don't forget the time will be in hours. So what is your time? So you use a calculator again to say 250 over 96. So do that. You've got 2,604 or 2,6. 3 decimal places 2,604. So I've got 2,604. This is hours. But now you want to convert to, remember, hours and minutes. Already 2 hours is in minutes. So you need to convert this part of comma. Let me do this. What you're converting is the comma 604 hours. That comma 604 hours, what you do, you're going to say this. Remember, it's you're going to multiply it by 60. Remember, there are 60 minutes in an hour. So you're going to multiply it by 60. So that you're going to say, if I can just take a calculator here to say, it's comma 604 times 60. See, it gives me that, which is 36,24. So focus on the 36 there, which is equal to 36. That's now in minutes. So what is the time? Time is equal to time taken is 2 hours 36 minutes. That's the answer there. That's how you could have done that. Second option, same thing, a motorbike covers 120 in 1 hour 30 minutes. You can use what is called proportion. I want to use here proportion. If I'm using proportion, they say 120 kilometers is to 1 hour 15 minutes. Am I right? Let's check again. 120 kilometers, yes. And then what about 250 kilometers? It is to X. We don't know the time. They ask us what time will it take. Then you do what is called cross multiplying. You cross multiply like this. You say 120 times X times X is equal to 250 times, then you've got what? 1 hour 15 minutes. Now you need to be careful. You need to convert these into single units. And how do you convert 1 hour 15 minutes? You come here, we did already said 15 minutes is what? 0.25, and you said this is same as 1.25 hours. So you're going to say 120 times this is equal to 250 times 1, what? Say it is what? 1.25. That conversion there is important. You can't avoid that stage. And then how do you find X? Remember, it's multiplying. You divide by 120. You divide by 120. Cancel out. Then you've got your X. Remember, what is X? X is the time. That X there represent your time. You could have said t for time. Instead of saying x, I can actually substitute to say t. Even here, I can substitute and say what would be the t for time. So in here, then I can simply not get confused and say what is my time is equal to, then you use the calculator at that stage. It will be able to assist there. 250 times 1,25 over 120. Therefore, is 2,604. You see that? That 2,604. Remember, it was hours. Then from here, we are back here. 2,604. So this, you continue the next stage from here. It's a matter of continuing to say 2,604 up to the way of 2 hours 36 minutes. Even here, 2,604. Then this is t is 2 hours 36 minutes. That is how you could have gotten this answer correct. Alright, 4.4 done, 15 marks. Let's go to question 5. And then we will wrap it up in this question. Question 5 is long, out of 13 marks. Not much, but looks long. 5.1. Given 4x plus 2y plus 3 is equal to 0. 5.1.1. What do they want? They want me to write the equation in standard form. It's 2 marks. And then later, determine the gradient, determine the y-intercept. Now, standard form, they are saying write it as y is equal to mx plus c. And what do you have? You are given 4x plus 2y plus 3 equal to 0. Just to confuse you, that's what they gave you. Write it in that standard form. Y is called mx plus c, meaning I must remain with y on my left hand side. So here I'll remain with 2y is equal to, I must have mx first, take 4x to the other side, positive, it becomes minus, from positive to negative on the other side, minus 4x, 3 again goes there, from positive 3 to negative 3. So you've got 2y is equal to minus 4x minus 3. Again, look at this. I must only have y. 2 is disturbing. There is multiplying. Divide instead by 2. Each item you divide by 2. That's how you do it. You divide each item by 2. So that now you've got the y is equal to 24. It's 2. It's minus 2x minus 1,5, or you maintain it as like that. It's up to you. This is now y is mx plus c. That's the standard form they're talking about. Then after that, the two questions are easy. Determine the gradient. Remember, m here is your gradient and c is your y-intercept. See, so you just, that's why these two questions are 1 mark. Determine the gradient, determine the y-intercept, and they gave you 1, 1. So you come here and say there is m, gradient is negative 2, c is negative 3 over 2. So you can write now here and say gradient equal to that, and y-intercept, you just state it equal to that. That's why it was not a problem in that. Next one, given xy minus 6 equal to 0, then it says write the equation in the standard form. It's 1 mark. Let me just work it here. Look, you have got the standard form says y is a over x. That's the standard form. So here you're going to say xy minus 6. Remember, it's equal to 0. Take the negative 6 to the other side, where you've got xy is equal to the positive 6. Now, x and y are multiplying. Divide by x. The aim is to remain with y. So what do we have? Y is equal to 6 over x. Look, you are matching that. A over x. That's the standard form. You get 1 mark. And then in which quadrant should the graph be drawn? Look at it again. I'm just going to do this. When you're drawing these graphs like this, there are two graphs you're going to come up with. When it's positive here, they will be in this quadrant and that quadrant. When instead it's negative, if it's negative there, we are going to get them in this quadrant and this quadrant. Now, what is this quadrant? This is how you name them. This is quadrant 1. Start from 0 here, anti-clockwise. You go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see it's in quadrant 1 and 3. So in which quadrant should the graph drawn? Here you say 1 and 3. That was the answer there. But this is 2. Okay, it's 1 and 3 actually repeated the same thing here. If it's negative, it's the other way around. Not here. If it's negative, we are going to draw it in what? In this quadrant, like this. This is where you're going to draw it, here and there. So it's quadrant 2 and 4. This is for negative ones. Alright. Anyway, I hope it makes sense there. So the answer was 1 and 3 there. 5.3, we are looking at this 5.3 now. Given 2 is equal to minus xy, again, you see they gave you to confuse you. 2 is minus xy, meaning I can say negative xy is equal to 2. Remember, it's multiplying, divide by negative x, divide by negative x, then you have y is equal to negative 2 over x. That's the standard form. Then they are able to say, fill up this table. Look at this. Even with your calculator, you could have started to try to see these numbers shaping up. If I take my calculator and I say, you see, this is my x. I want to see how they got a. No, I want to see how they got the first one. Remember, y is minus 2 over x. So my y, I want to see how they got 0.25, where I'll say negative 2 over, and my x is negative 8. So I'll put negative 8 there, equal to, press SD, there is 0.25. Go to the next one, play back, put a negative 6, equal to, press SD, there is 0.33. Go backwards, put now negative 4. That's what is happening. Equal to, so you're supposed to put a is 0.5. How did they get 1? Put that negative 2. See how they got a 1. Continue. How did they get a b? Now you put a 2. Positive 2. The answer b is negative 1. So here is 0.5. B is negative 1. The next one, how do they get? Now you see it has changed. Look now what they've done. At the bottom, you can actually start from here to say I was working it like this. My x, let's start from there. In here, my x, see I was getting 2 over negative 2. So now you can change to say, what if instead of the x I was putting, what if now I start here and say 0.25. Look at this. There is the negative 8. You see what's happening? This one is rounded off. What about here? If I put a 1 at the bottom, see, negative 2. And then what about if I put a negative 0.5? Because you can, it's just a matter of playing with this negative 0.5. There, you see, I'm getting a 4. So C there is also what? C there is also a 4. It said, I think B, I don't know whether it was 2 and the 8 was 0.5. Forgot about that, but we're using the calculator for that. You can just check it there. Let me just not be more positive. And then it says use, but I can quickly do this and tell you there, because what is happening, I'll say y is equal to negative, which is equal to negative 2 over my x is 2. So y is equal to actually -1. So here it's -1. So use the table in question this to draw the graph on the graph paper. So you see now they want me to draw this on a graph paper. I can actually come up with a new page here and come up with a graph paper like this. Make it small like that, and then it's not complicated, it's just a matter of bringing it like this, like that. Do this y and x, and then you look at the numbers to say you are moving x is -8, that's the biggest value of x, and up to +4. So when you come here, you're going to say that you're marking the 2, 4, 6, 8. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8 negative, and then also you've got 2, 4, 6, but it was up to that. And then what about the values for y? Y was smaller values, 0,5, 0,25, so you can make them even smaller. Make this as 0,5 negative, then 1,0, even here 0,5, 1,0. Then you can start plotting these points to say what? -8 is 0,25. Say -8, is it positive? So we have a point there, and the other one, -6 is 0,33. Somewhere there. -4 is 0,5. We've got it there. 2 and -1, and it's here, and -0,5 and 4. So as I said, for you to plot this, then you're going to have a solid line like this. It's supposed to be like this, like that. And then also here you need a line like this. See, it's in quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. Why? Because if you check, there is the negative. You see that? There is a negative there. So that is how you're supposed to do that question. Is 13 marks. And yeah, this wraps the whole of this section, I think, because the next part of this section is question number 6, 7 and 8. Now you need to join me in the last part of this very important part. We have come to the end of our session, guys. I hope this was of benefit to you. Remember, these are for Prime members, and if you want to become a Prime member, you need to join our membership, and Prime members help in sponsoring this channel. And there is more information on how to join. Check out our videos there on how to become a Prime member, but don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to be a part of the members in this community. This is 24-minute lesson. Remember also to watch these videos in 24 minutes pockets. Don't watch it once at a go. It is going to be too long for you. Your brain can only absorb up to 24 minutes. So just do that and you will benefit more. We've come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.